In 1590, English Governor John White returned to the shores of Roanoke Island after a 3-year absence. He expected to find 115 men, women, and children, the settlers he had left behind to build England's first colony in the New World. What he found instead was silence. The settlement was completely empty. No bodies. No signs of struggle. No blood. No fire. Just one single word, carved deeply into a wooden post. Croatoan. To this day, over 430 years later, no one knows what truly happened to the Roanoke Colony. This is the story of history's most haunting disappearance. To understand what makes this mystery so unsettling, we need to go back to 1585. England was desperate to establish a foothold in the Americas. Spain had already claimed vast territories in South America, and Queen Elizabeth I wanted her own piece of the New World. Sir Walter Raleigh was granted a charter to establish an English colony along the eastern coast of North America. The first attempt, in 1585, failed. The settlers, all military men, ran out of supplies and returned to England within a year. But Raleigh wasn't done. In 1587, he organized a second expedition. This time, it wasn't soldiers, it was civilians. Families. 117 men, women, and children, including pregnant women and young children, all willing to risk everything for a new life. Their leader was Governor John White, an artist, a mapmaker, and a man who had been to Roanoke before. On August 18, 1587, just 9 days after arriving, something remarkable happened. A baby girl was born, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the Americas. For a brief moment, it seemed like the colony might actually succeed. But within weeks, problems began to mount. The settlers were struggling. Food was scarce. Relations with local Native American tribes were tense. One colonist had already been killed. Desperate, the colonists made a fateful decision. They asked Governor White to return to England to get emergency supplies. White was reluctant. He didn't want to leave. But the colonists insisted. They needed him to personally plead their case to Raleigh and the Queen. Before leaving, they agreed on a signal. If the colonists were forced to abandon the settlement, they would carve their destination into a tree. And if they were in danger, they would add a cross above it. White set sail for England in August 1587. He never expected what would happen next. War broke out between England and Spain. Every available ship was commandeered for the fight against the Spanish Armada. White couldn't get back. He watched from across an ocean, helpless, as months stretched into years. It wasn't until August 1590, 3 full years later, that White finally returned to Roanoke Island. The moment his boat touched shore, he knew something was terribly wrong. The settlement was abandoned. The buildings had been dismantled, not destroyed, but carefully taken apart, as if the colonists had planned to move. A fence of wooden posts surrounded the area. And there, on one of the posts, carved in neat capital letters, Croatoan. No cross above it. According to their signal, that meant no danger. But there was no one there. White searched frantically. No sign of the settlers. No graves. No bodies. No trace of 115 human beings. His granddaughter, baby Virginia Dare, was gone too. White tried to sail to Croatoan Island, where the friendly Croatoan tribe lived. But a storm forced his ships away. He never made it back. The colonists were never found. So what actually happened? Over 4 centuries, historians, archaeologists, and investigators have proposed many theories. Here are the most compelling ones. Theory 1, they joined the Croatoan tribe. This is considered the most likely explanation by many modern historians. The word Croatoan was the name of both a nearby island and the tribe that lived there, a tribe known for being friendly to the English. The colonists, faced with starvation and danger, may have peacefully integrated with the Croatoans and adopted their way of life. Some tantalizing clues support this. In later years, explorers reported meeting Native Americans in the region who had gray eyes, spoke some English words, and claimed ancestors who could talk in books, meaning they could read. A 2012 analysis of a map drawn by John White also revealed a hidden symbol. A patch covering what appeared to be a fort location far inland from Roanoke. This suggests the colonists may have had a planned secondary location they never told historians about. Theory 2. They tried to sail back to England, and drowned. The colonists had a small ship left behind. Some researchers believe a desperate group may have attempted to sail across the Atlantic themselves, and perished at sea. This would explain why no bodies were ever found on land. Theory 3. They were killed by either hostile tribes or Spanish forces. Spain had spies throughout the region and was furious about English settlements in territory they considered their own. Some historians believe Spanish soldiers may have wiped out the colony before White could return. Similarly, certain neighboring tribes, unlike the friendly Croatoans, were openly hostile to English settlers. But if they were attacked, why were there no bodies? No signs of battle? Theory 4. Disease. A severe drought hit the region between 1587 and 1589, one of the worst in 800 years, according to tree ring data. Crops would have failed. Water would have become scarce. Could the entire colony have been wiped out by disease and starvation, their remains scattered or consumed by nature over 3 years? It's possible. But it doesn't explain the missing buildings, or the carved word. The mystery of Roanoke hasn't been forgotten. In 1937, a series of stones were discovered across the region, claiming to tell the story of the lost colonists in Eleanor Dare's handwriting. She was Virginia Dare's mother. The stones described attacks, deaths, and migration inland. But most historians believe the stones were elaborate fakes. More recently, in 2012, archaeologists from the First Colony Foundation discovered pieces of European ceramics and food storage containers buried at a site called Site X, miles inland from Roanoke. Could this be where the colonists ended up? Excavations are still ongoing. Every year, new clues emerge, and new questions arise. The search for the lost colonists of Roanoke continues to this day. 115 people. Men, women, children, including a baby girl born in a new world full of promise. They stepped off a boat in 1587 with dreams of building a future. And then, they were gone. No definitive answer has ever been found. No mass grave. No final letter. No bones of Virginia Dare. Just that single carved word, Croatoan, echoing across more than 4 centuries of silence. What do you think happened to the Roanoke colonists? Did they survive, living out their days among the Croatoan people? Or did something far darker take them in the night? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to explore more of history's greatest unsolved mysteries, subscribe to Lost Chronicles. We're just getting started.